Welcome to my second channel, Cousin Jeff. That's an assortment of different topics, etc. Thoughts of the day, things that have happened to me in life, etc. But this channel, I'll go over briefly how I named the channel, who I am, and a brief intro video. So how did I name the channel? Well, my uncle, my aunt, and two cousins would drive into Chicago from Omaha, and my uncle had a used car dealership in Omaha, and he'd come out with my cousins and my aunt for the holidays. They'd drive a car from the lot to Chicago, and I was real little at the time, and he's, okay, let's take it to the auction to sell it. So my dad would drive one of his cars, and my uncle would drive the car to the auction, and and his name was Uncle Ford. And I'd be, Uncle Ford, how are you going to get home if you sell the car you have? And he, as far back as I can remember, would say, well, Cousin John. So that's where the name comes from. It's kind of a tribute to Uncle Ford. So he'd buy 1, 2, 3 cars at the dealer auction and drive them back to Omaha to sell on his lot. And my two cousins, I'm the youngest of 3 sons, my 2 cousins and my 2 brothers would be socializing and talking about things, etc. And Uncle Ford tried to talk to all 3 of us kids about cars. I was the only one that was interested, and I just soaked like a sponge everything he taught me. And as time went on, I went and learned more, took what he had. On top of that, I went to Northwood in Cedar Hill, Texas, studying automotive marketing, which in short is, back then, we're talking the late 70s, a dealer could not just hand the keys to his son or daughter and say, I'm retiring, here's your dealership. Back then, maybe today, I don't know, the manufacturer would require that the son or daughter complete and get a degree from Northwood so they'd know all facets of running a dealership. So over the years, I've combined that as well. Well, backing up, so Uncle Ford carried the mail, and this was when you had the mail bag over your shoulder, you'd go up to everybody's door. And the days he took off unpaid from the mail, he made more than that by coming out, selling the car he brought from the lot, and taking cars back to his lot to sell. So, who I am? As I mentioned a moment ago, I've been around cars and car dealers on the consumer side for over 45 years now. Man, I'm old. And I just had a natural ability to sell. First item I sold was my parents' travel trailer. We had gotten older as 3 kids, and we'd take it on vacations. Excuse me. And it was time to go ahead and sell it. Mom and Dad had posted an ad in the paper, I'm thinking. A couple had called to make an appointment on a Saturday. Mom and Dad had to run some errands. They came over, and back in those days, a stranger knocks on your door, it wasn't a big deal. And I think I was a teenager back then. And they showed up early. Mom and Dad were a few minutes late. So I showed them all around the travel trailer, all the features, all the different things about it, everything I knew. Mom and Dad got home, and they were, hi, we're Mr. and Mrs. Whoever. My parents introduced themselves, and Dad was, well, let me show you around, and the couple said, that's okay. Your son showed us everything we need to know, and we're ready to make a deal. Excuse me. So all Dad had to do was get together with them, agree on a price, and I'm not sure if they picked it up a day or two later or had a hitch and took it right then, but Dad was, well, did he show you? Yes. And did he show you that? Yes, he did. And my parents were just amazed, so I had a natural talent for selling. I did work for a used-only dealer for about 8 months, and it was the owner, his son, one other person, and myself, and he'd been at that location so many years. He was selling cars to children of original customers, and he ended up shutting down the dealership, retired, and I saw, yeah, he ran a very legit, very good business, but I was, okay, I learned a lot. I could help out the public. So my wife and I were not married too long, looking for a car, and he had one on his lot. We made a deal on it, and then we decided to get a second car, and I've been in numerous car transactions over countless years, and I continue to learn and educate myself through excuse me, dealings with the dealers and expand my knowledge. And I'm on the side of the consumers, no loyalty in the past to any dealerships or manufacturer. And on occasion, every once in a while, a friend or acquaintance will ask, hey John, I'm looking for a such and such car, can you help me out? Yeah. And I have also, through YouTube, watched other channels, mixed and matched what works for them with what works for me. In fact, Your Auto Advocate is a wealth of information, and I'm constantly doing a continuing education so that I have refined to the point that I know what's going to happen in a dealership transaction before it happens and how to keep everything in line. My wife has sat in with me on numerous transactions, probably, since we got married, 20 to 30. And she's about at the point where she could walk in and make a deal on her own. She's not too sure about that, but I've got all the confidence in the world. If she's not sure that something isn't going right, she can call me. But the next car or two, she can at least start the ball rolling if she so desires, if she wants. I'll handle it. Her first car, a 2003 that was new, 2003 Hyundai Sonata. Went in, made the deal. All she had to do was come out that evening, sign the papers, and she had her new car. Now, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I know substantially more than the average person, combined with what I've learned from others throughout the years. And just a short intro video at this point. There were two cars that I could have bought and I didn't. One was a car sitting with a for sale sign on it. It was at an auto repair shop, small independent place. And it was back then, we're talking early 80s, $500. I had $425, I could stretch it to $450, $475. I didn't have the full 500. So I drove it, had a V8, a stick shift, and had just a little of oil out of the tailpipes if you were accelerating when you first started it. And if you accelerated more than just standard acceleration, you could see a little of blue out of the tailpipes, but it wasn't severe. So I decided to buy it, and hit the guy at $425, and he said, nope, the price is $500. And I said, can you help me out? $450, and he's $500. I'm stretched out. The most I've got is $475. That's all I got. If you can see your way clear to that, nope, it's $500. And I just didn't have the extra $25 back then. The car that I missed out on by $25, it had a sloping nose, and it had a huge wing on the back. And I didn't know what it was at the time. Yeah. The next car, the son of the owner at the used car lot, he was getting married, had to sell his car, and he'd just gotten a fresh paint job on it. It was a convertible. He had a new top put on it. This was, 79 maybe? And he told me, hey John, you want to buy my car? I just got engaged. I had to sell it for the wedding. And I was, how much? $1,500. And the owner was, that's between you and him. It's not a car on the lot. If you got it, great. I can't help you otherwise. I didn't have the $1,500. What was it that I so dearly wish I had bought? It was a 1966 Barracuda convertible. And I saw it before it was painted. The paint was just faded and clear coat and whatnot. The new paint, it was a good quality job. The new convertible top. 2 cars that I wish I'd been able to buy but wasn't. The upload schedule will be every Saturday. I'll have car stories. I've got a couple of cars. Just minor projects. I don't know about tearing apart engines or taking wrecked cars and fixing them. I can do minor stuff. So I'll also have tips on dealership experiences, what to expect, etc. And Your Auto Advocate is if I haven't said it before, is a wealth of information. They don't know me, they don't know who I am, but it's a father-son, and you can learn a lot from them as well. Not sponsored, just putting out who's helped me with my continuing education with car deals and car dealers. So, it's going to be an assortment of different car content. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you stop back. And hopefully the content is worth you subscribing. And come on back. Saturday uploads around, we'll say between 12 and 4. It'll be once a week at this point. Might go to twice a week at a later time. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you come back. And check out my other channel, Cousin John. In fact, that one has a preview of this channel here. I believe it's my most recent upload from May the 26th. If you're watching this after, at some point in the future. And then I have a car story as well. Appreciate it. Thank you much. Thanks for stopping by.